What's up, Internet? It's your boy Hot Noodle, creative director for xCephasx Studios, where we create 3D animations for music brands and snack brands. So, if you need animation, holla at your boy. Let's get into today's video. This is something that's been circulating on the internet. Everyone's going buck wild about it. This thing has about 12 million views, 8 million views in a day. That's crazy. Okay, so MrBeast and the whole Chris thing. You already know where I stand on the situation. Obviously, it's messed up. So let's find out how we can even add more fuel to the fire against our hatred against MrBeast. Although I really am indifferent to MrBeast at this moment, you know.
Great! All right, jokes for food. I wish a philanthropist YouTuber would just give me 10K and not film it. Hey, what the hell happened to you? MrBeast, that's what happened to me.
What we do here is go back.
I was gonna be something. I was gonna be the Carl did my job. Carl did my job. It's worse than the country did it to me. Oh, God. I didn't. No.
Okay, content cop from Timu back at it again. So just before I get into my interrogation with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle, a lot has happened since my last video. After posting I got hundreds of messages from former MrBeast employees, and I had them all like send proof of former employment. You know, just people showing their support or telling their stories of you know, fake videos or unsafe practices, you know, toxic workplace, stuff like that. I'm not really gonna get into those claims because for one, like most people want to stay anonymous, which I understand. And also like I think
It's really rather quite simple. Do you guys have what it takes, the tenacity to make it all the way to the top? Are you willing to put in the hours and do crazy amount of just like self-reflection and going over your work over and over and over, thousands of times over and over and over again? Are you willing to do that? Do you know the insanity that comes with being that type of person? And then you guys are gonna get mad at MrBeast for being a winner, dude. Essentially, that's what they're doing, dude. They're getting mad at MrBeast for being a winner. You think it was easy to work with MJ, dude? Like, come on, guys. This video is already starting off on the wrong foot. It's a little bit too soft, but I'm willing to hear the guy out to see exactly where MrBeast could go wrong.
I think most of that stuff's just been covered with you know, the news coming out about Beast Games and everything. And also I have like more serious allegations that I want to start covering. Also I heard from a very credible source that MrBeast has been sitting on a response to part 1 because he was worried if he posted it, I would instantly respond with part 2, you know, like this is Kids Bop, Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. Also I know MrBeast's secret CEO has been practically like harassing my people on, you know, hey, what's in part 2? What does he know? So I will just tell you, James, what will be in part 3, so you don't have to harass my people. It will be about serious allegations of sexual misconduct in the company and your direct involvement in covering up those crimes. And I'll make sure to give you full credit and plaster your face all over the screen when we talk about that. So yeah, I've gotten dozens of messages from former MrBeast employees of very serious allegations. So I just want to put a call to action at the start of this video that, you know, if you have a story, you can DM me. Just make sure you send proof of employment first, because I get a lot of DMs. And like, as much as I meme and joke around, like I take anonymity very seriously. So without
This guy is yapping, bro. He's yapping, dude. I don't know if MrBeast did it. He could have done it. I'm not too sure. But listen, this is the kind of situation I think is really going on. But when we really break it down into what's really happening, you kind of get a sense of like, MrBeast is kind of crazy. Okay, let's hear him out, actually.
you trap these girls in a circle and make them sleep on rough turf and get them high on paint fumes, and then you try to f them.
Okay, that seems really dark now.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think
yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Anyway, so that will be part 3. So, you know, MrBeast, do with that information what you will. I know Chucky didn't want to respond to those allegations. So anyway, my interview with Jake Weddle, I chose to interview him because I thought he was perfect because he was both on camera and behind the scenes in 2019 and 2020. And also, what people don't know is that he came back in 2021 to be the sole contestant of a MrBeast video, which never got uploaded because it went very badly. He also knows about another portable document format who was working at MrBeast while actually on the registry. And I'll get more into that story at the end of the video. So I got his DM, drove straight to New York overnight, did not sleep, just drank a bunch of caffeine. And I also only had one microphone in the interview, which he's wearing. So it's mostly just him talking. Also, like, final thing, people said my last video started slow. This video also starts slow. It you know, builds up over time. But I'll do the retention thing and say, the ending will blow your mind. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Jake Weddle, everybody.
I'm Jake Weddle. Most people who, if you know me from MrBeast, I'm a deep cut. I'm in a few of the videos, sometimes maybe purposefully kept to the
MrBeast almost moves a lot like Nelk, where there's different people that sort of come in and leave. But I always thought it was just the same people that he has right now, but I guess this is like a whole new band of characters. You know who also constantly has a new band of characters around him? Soulja Boy.
shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor a lot of the time. But I've been in some videos. I've worked on a lot of them. I was there from 2019 to 2020, 2021ish when I came back and did some more. I was there when they were authentic, and then I saw the transition to what I feel like is a company. He's like a TV show now. It went from YouTuber guy with a camera to Amazon. The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy or just you didn't like it, you know, you were in the other half. And I consistently was in the half that Jimmy didn't like me. That's fine. I don't like him either. It's okay. Oh, that's so good to say. I don't like Jimmy. I hate you so much. He didn't want anyone to get more popular or have more of a way out necessarily. Oh, I'm doing my Twitch thing on the side. Don't do that because you could get famous and leave and talk about me negatively. And I could tell that the yes men were, you know, doing well. And I was, you know, disgruntled for quite some time. So I've talked to reporters, right? Like publicly. And I've always had to choose my words very, very carefully because I don't want to say anything I don't stand behind, obviously. So I used to talk to people. I used to glaze Jimmy publicly for things I do genuinely think are true. But then it's like, well, how come you didn't talk about the working conditions? Well, I wanted a career. I didn't want to, you know, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy and then I'm blacklisted forever. I tell people I was talking to you, they go, "Don't, what are you doing? You're going to kill your career." It's like, I have to or I'll be sad. If this is the moment, we're going to talk about it. So as far as that, that's my covering up of why we didn't talk about XYZ sooner, but now you know.
What would you say is the fakest video that you worked on while you were there?
Fakest video that I worked on while I was there. This is the extent of the fakeness that I was involved to. This is admitting to my complicity. I was a writer there, and we were working on a video, crushing my friend's car with a rock or meteor or something. It was a rock or meteor in the title of it, I can't remember, but he wanted to do a prank where, unbeknownst to the person, he takes a rock, crushes their car, and they're supposed to think a rock came out of space.
We're gonna take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car. Both of them have no idea that we're doing this. Weddle and Marcus are probably shocked. They had no idea.
And so that was the one and only time I had to, my car? What? And on the fly, I saw him, because Marcus was in that video. So Marcus is calling his mom. Marcus genuinely had no idea. He genuinely had no idea. But so Marcus is calling his mom, and his mom's freaking out. And I'm like, oh no, they're gonna call my mom next. So I had to text my mom, who had to beg to get the title very quickly. Now I'm texting my mom, I go, "Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised." And then I hit send, and then they go, "Call your mom now." And I call my mom and I tell her, and oh, she should have got the Oscar. Oh my God, on the fly, she goes, "What? I'm on vacation." Mom, my car has been destroyed.
Wait, what?
A meteor hit it.
I'm on vacation. Do you understand?
But yeah, I did that video, and they're supposed to give me $10K to put down payments on a new car, and they wanted me to get like a big flashy new car. $10K was supposed to be a down payment, and I can't afford a big flashy new car because I work at MrBeast. So I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the taxes on. I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the insurance on. So I do my part of the video, and I get a mom van that I could afford. And Jimmy was like, "Why didn't you get a cooler car?" I was like, I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? You know, I was working on a TV show in the 90s, on a show that was a quarter as successful, I could retire today. But now I make dog shit pay, making gajillionaires more money. And I just walked into the writer's room, and that's one of the reasons why I left, was because I just walked in there and asked for not necessarily a gajillion dollars, but maybe a salary that was more proportional to the work I was doing, given how much revenue that work was doing. And then, you know, I talked about that, and I talked about the Writers Guild and how this is what Writers Guild industry standard is for the streaming internet content with ads. I thought that was the closest thing to YouTube, and I didn't even bring up residuals, because oh my God, if I got residuals for every video I worked on, boy howdy, I could retire. But
he kind of seems a little disgruntled. And I can kind of understand where the point where he's coming from, but at the end of the day, even if you leave MrBeast, you still have to then put your own best foot forward to actually try to accomplish something. It sounds like he's just playing victim for the whole situation, like blaming MrBeast for the fact that he doesn't have any success, as if there's residuals on YouTube. It's a whole different format, man. Like, you can't go ahead and blame the player when he's just playing the game accordingly. Like, he's the star of the show. Obviously, you have a boss. If you have a boss, your boss is always going to pay you pennies to what he makes. But the boss is making a couple million a year. You're not touching $1 million, dude. You're touching a couple thousand, dude. So, like, I don't understand this guy's plight, man. He's really out here crying despair. Oh, woe is me. But, bro, come on, man. If you're broke now, then it's your own fault, dude. Has nothing to do with MrBeast. You should have been a MrBeast yes man. But in case you didn't want to, you wanted to stand on your laurels, then go ahead. But now, if you leave MrBeast's wing, you have to then shine on your own. And it seems to me that this guy doesn't shine at all.
the other thing I talked about was there was another writer there, older comic, black guy. He had a kid, and I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fucking white guy. Why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up, and one of the things I didn't like about the way some of the V stuff shook out was.
No, come on, buddy. Come on.
I feel really guilty about the way this shook out. I was talking to this other writer, it's fucked up, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, because you deserve to get paid more. I don't have a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, because when you grow up with, nothing, not to say that he did, but I know I did, you get a little something, you don't want to lose it. So he didn't want to rock the boat.
This guy's really
But he said, hey man,
into
that's
it,
how you
huh?
feel, if that's I trust you. He stood with me. He went into that meeting with me. And I said I had my piece and he backed me up. I said, I need XYZ or I'm out of here. And they said, bet, and they gave me a severance check the next day. And they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew...
The other guy fired too?
If I knew he was going to lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it.
Wow, bro. You see? Why'd you have to go and press the buttons, dog?
Me, I was over the moon. I was like, you're going to give me a check and I get to leave? I don't get to deal with the how many Orbeez can I fit up my asshole every day, and I get to...
What's going on here? It's freezing, man. Doesn't want to do the internet stuff. What's the deal with that? Sorry, there's a way. I'm doxing my DMs right now. Come on, guys. This is the most you're going to be able to give me for this documentary? Oh, my internet broke, dude. Oh, no.
I get to go home and you're gonna pay me to leave. I was over the moon. And he was devastated.
He lost his job, bro.
I said, he just wanted to be in the room, And I really regret that. But, me and him were really still tight. We're still good friends. Is he doing good? Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good guy. I love that guy. He's doing good. Yeah.
So maybe you still better?
Honestly, best thing I could have done for him. Now that he's a very, very far removed from all this crazy shit, I guess.
Do you think Jimmy really enjoys doing good and helping people?
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal. And I think whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do. And I think it was the smartest decision for him that he calculated, because he's very good with numbers. If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy? But I've always thought, if you're going to do something nice for somebody and you stick a camera in their face while you do it, that you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street and you saw an opportunity for yourself and your image, and you gave one guy $10,000 who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video is way more than what you gave. I think when he's generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world. There's an element of, oh, hey, you're crying. That's so good for camera. I'm so glad if you're crying because you're so thankful that you got XYZ, and then you go, oh, I'm so glad he needed it that bad so I could come in and, can you cry more? Oh, it's so good for the camera if you could. Oh, it made me uncomfortable when I was working there, and I didn't like it, and I vocalized it sometimes, and I think that's why I wasn't on camera as much as they said I was going to be. I was told at one point that I was going to be like fourth banana, it was going to be Jimmy, Chris, Chandler, me, and then that never happened. I remember talking about that, like, hey, I thought my contract said XYZ, and then I got the severance checks, so, whatever, how that regard.
So after your...
That's crazy, man, that he would make the people force them to cry more. Can you cry more so that we can see it on camera, the emotion that gets put on camera? This is sociopathic. But this is the dark side, man. This is like a Michael Jordan documentary right here, guys.
Severance checks. How was your relationship with the company? I know you appeared in videos after that, right?
Right. So in videos where I was appearing in later, that's why you keep nice publicly. If you're nice in public, hey, Jake was nice in public. Let's have him back for something. Yeah, sure. So I was hoping they call back. And I appeared in some videos after I left. I think one of them was a 3 days in a maximum security prison. If I did do mini challenges in that, I got paid. I was clocked in with a rate, and I would get paid and compensated for those. But there was one video I was in. I got paid a lot for it, but it didn't come out. It didn't come out because it didn't go well. There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the like surviving like $10,000 every day you spent in solitary or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me. And it didn't go well.
This is
I was
dark.
already planning on moving to New York, and I worked at a couple of YouTube companies after Beast, and I had a little bit of change in my pocket, the most change I had in my pocket ever. Small potatoes, compared to Beast bullshit, but I thought I had enough to move to New York or whatever. And I get a call from somebody over there, and they go, "Hey, they want you for a video." I was like, "Oh, amazing, great, cool, thank God." What's the video? And they tell me the pitch. And they try to make the pitch sound like it's gonna be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement. But don't worry, like you only have to last like 30. We have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's gonna be like a luxury vacation. You're gonna have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine, and like part of the video is gonna be you deciding like what items am I gonna get rid of, today, and it's like the choice. They were like, it's only gonna be bad for you to last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first. It's gonna be like a breeze for most of it, and by the end of it, after 30 days, you're gonna get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day. And I don't know, man. I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure. They were like, you're going to be locked in this.
He changed who he was for the money, bro. So you see what I was saying? He can't fully play martyr, dude. He can't fully play victim. This is the guy saying, oh, it's MrBeast's fault that I'm broke. No, bro. Because you have the mindset of somebody who's poor. Oh, I grew up poor in Kansas City or wherever, Minnesota, whatever the fuck this he just said. But his mentality is, his self-image is that he's poor, dude. That's why, even after working with MrBeast, he still ends up in being poor. Because his mindset is poor from the start, dude. So no matter how much money he would have made from MrBeast, even if he made millions, he would have lost it all.
This room, and we got to make sure you're on all the time. We're gonna have cameras on you all the time, and you're perfect for this because you never shut the fuck up. On paper, I was like, okay, I can do this, and they always cut me out of the videos. They always, because editors have told me that it's because you have too much of a personality. And so with this video, I thought, this is perfect. It's a video they can't cut me out of. I'm the guy. And so I thought, well, if I have to do this, if I have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that. That I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last ride. And I get there. And at first it's fine. And they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, which that's probably not good, the smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. It looked good on the visual. It looks good on camera. It's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility. It was in one of the studios. They had to get a separate tank for septic stuff. Yeah, there was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Things were cool and funny on paper. But when you think about stuff, a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system, give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. There's not a hot water mechanism. So the hot tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which was a silly complaint, but the shower was always cold, and you're taking a quick shower, and I had cameras 24/7 on me, and the ice cream machine, let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes, on, and off, reeking of smelly dairy, mildew, so I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good. So the little things started to build up, there was the bug thing wasn't terrible, but it was a factor, and at first it was fine, and you're playing it up, because it's a video. And it got to a point where they weren't turning the lights off. I asked them, I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what, me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Want to know how they figured that one out? I didn't have it. One of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and
He's losing it, man. He's having PTSD. He's remembering the entire thing that occurred, dude. And he's losing it, dude. He's literally losing it. His brain is melting. Thinking back on it, bro. This is crazy, dude.
I have insomnia problems now, but they might have started there. I had good people looking out for me. I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. So, you know, they're giving me
That's dark,
melatonin, you know, it's not helping, you know.
So then it kind of makes you wonder about MrBeast. Is MrBeast somebody that just is fully in it just for the money and has no sense of soul or anything? Is this showing that this is truly his side? Almost like a Steve Jobs, but Steve Jobs wasn't doing anything diabolical or anything of this sort. Could we compare MrBeast to somebody like Mussolini? That's a little bit extreme. But either way, I think at first I kind of looked at this guy like he was playing victim, but then now when I kind of look at him, I'm seeing that there's an underlying sense of like, you understand MrBeast's mentality. And it's this very similar to someone like Sneakers where it's like, it's all content. MrBeast, his mind now, his paradigm is everything for the camera. Whatever adds to the camera, whatever can be, whatever emotion can be transferred through the camera, I want to capture it all. The good, the bad, the psycho, the chaotic, every single aspect of what is going to either break or enlighten or make somebody cry or joy or whatever the emotion is, he wants all that to be captured on camera, dude. Energy in motion. Money is energy in motion. That's why MrBeast is one of the richest, bro, because he understands about energy in motion, seeing people being like sad, happy, oh my God, I just want a new Tesla. It's that emotion, bro. And then it transfers over to you while you're watching the video. You get a dopamine rush. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy.
And then Jimmy would come in like every other day for like an hour, you know, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. You know, I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute. And so he'd come by, he'd get the shots, he'd leave. Sometimes he'd have a note from the director over the phone. That would really piss me off. This is the note I got from the director, from Jimmy, when I'm receiving some cash. He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans? You know how hard it was to do a take of that? And pretend to make it genuine? I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage. But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says, he'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it. I needed it, of course. And just something about like having the cameras on me all the time. Like I was not having a good time, but we were filming a video. So I was trying my best to be funny, you know. I'm a dark comic, you know. I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life.
Like a character from The Simpsons.
I have my dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor, you know. So this kind of stuff is very near and dear to my heart. You know, I don't fuck around with this shit. Yeah, I have jokes about that in my act. You know, I joke about it because that's what you do in drag experience. You know, abusive relationships. I get out of it. The first thing I do is I do a tight fight about it. You know, so I'm in this situation where my mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse, but we're filming. So I'm doing bits. I'm talking to the camera. And I'm being, you know, like, hey, it's been a couple days. I'm not doing so hot, you know, which if I'm filming a video, that's what I should be doing for the camera. But it was too real. If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one? You know, if we're allowed to let these cast members have some time off of this difficult challenge, how come we couldn't turn the lights off? How come we couldn't maybe not have some time-lapse footage for 10 seconds?
Did you try to get out?
Yes! I started to calculate, I don't know if I could do 30. How much can I, well, how can I manage to get out of here sooner and still have a video and still have some cash and get the plug, man. I did. Since we're doing time-lapse shots and since they insisted on time-lapse shots, I said, all right, we'll give you time-lapse shots back. I put my YouTube on with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You know, you got that whiteboard. Oh no, either that goes in or this footage is unusable. And then, you know, James Warren came in and erased it. You know, fucking, don't put that. Hey, we can torture him. Don't you dare let him get a plug in there. You know, like we were playing up the joke. Damn. You know, it's like I'm the boy in the cage. You know, whatever. Look, I'll play into a joke. Whatever, it's fine. It's just something weird about when Jimmy jokes. I have jokes about my dad because I love jokes with my dad. I'll joke about my dad all the time. I guess piece of shit. I hate my dad. I have friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine, because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. When Jimmy joked with my dad, and I said that seemed weird. I didn't like it. We were doing that one of those hide and seek videos. Again, you know, at the time they were a lot realer. So I got caught. And when you get caught, you know, you go to the place where you get caught. And I don't know if there's footage of this. I don't know if, I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to me, all right, you're going to jail, like your dad. And like, it's a joke. But when my friends do it, it's fine. And Jimmy just wasn't my friend. He was my boss. And that wasn't cool. And so now, I'm locked in a cage at his whim.
I think the thing that's messed up about the whole thing is that I think he has a lot of respect for MrBeast, actually. He respects MrBeast and what MrBeast created, the empire that MrBeast created, because obviously there's no reason that you could not respect him. But he's also hurt because of MrBeast's behavior. Because he idolizes MrBeast in a way, because or else he never would have worked there if it wasn't for MrBeast. MrBeast attracted him to go work for him. So in a sense, he does have a lot of respect for MrBeast, dude, his idol. But on the other hand, that's why they always say never meet your idols, because he is very disappointed in how his idol behaved. Mistreating people, not doing XYZ with labor and everything else of the sort. Extorting people over, just paying people pennies on the dollar. Yes, so he's very disappointed in all that. That's why I can kind of see. At first, like I said, it was like, it seemed very martyry, like, oh, I'm a victim, oh, hey. But then there's an underlying darkness that he is speaking about that is going towards MrBeast. And it's like, it kind of makes you open your eyes a little bit. But that doesn't negate the fact that it is his own reality to live in. If every day he's blaming somebody else for his non-success, that is also a non-starter.
And I have to do things to get the cash I need to live. And I got these cameras on me all the time. And I was unwell. I had editors coming up to me, saying, "You good, bud?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? You're clearly unwell." And he goes, "Well, because the footage you're sending in is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits." Someone said there is a horror cut of a video in this. And I'm saying, like, who's watching this? Like, who wants to see this? What is fun about this, the video? And so the thing that made me I gotta get out. I can't do another day in a year. Jimmy comes in, and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I was like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, "Why is he sleeping?" "I don't know, because I can't sleep." And he comes in, he wakes me up. And he goes, "Ask me why I have 2 briefcases." And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, "Oh, because this one's for today, and this one's for the challenge." And I go, "What's the challenge today?" He goes, you're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do 22.6K, whatever it is. And you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there." The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube. And I'm dyslexic, I'm dumb, I don't know how to do a Rubik's Cube. So your first challenge, Rubik's Cube. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do it." I was like, "On camera, I don't want to do it." He goes, "Just do it for the thing, like kid, Like there was an element of, Jake will do what we want because he's in house. That's one of the reasons why they got me. Jake's he's an inside guy, so he'll do whatever. We can push him a little extra hard because we know he's good. I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing. Yeah. So
you did it?
People who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Again, writer. Do I look like I run? I don't run. Let alone a marathon. Let alone have training for it. So I was in a sunlightless.
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or?
Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, like there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, And if I refuse, it's just, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing. And so I wanted to be a good sport, and I wanted to get the boost, and I wanted the cash, and so I started running at 12. I was able to take some breaks, and I asked him, "How long do I have?" He goes, "Until I get back." And I'm running until 3 a.m. I got off the treadmill. Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out.
This took such a dark turn, bro. This took such a dark turn. This is crazy, dude. This is worse than one of those the camps, bro. Holy cow.
And that's when I get psych in and talk to psych about how I'm not well. And like I said, there was a lot of good people over there that were saying, "You got to pull him out." Yeah, I had friends that did some freelance work, and they would tell me, they'd be like, "Yeah, everyone knows you over there. Everybody loves you." They go, "Oh, Jake, well, I love that guy. Shame what happened to him." Like I'm a ghost. And I asked him, I said, how much longer are you guys going to keep me in here? And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days? No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. So I just, slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And they brought in all my friends, to make it.
This nigga's losing it, dude. Holy. He has to relive it when he tells the story. So it's kind of like he's reliving the horror, dude.
But Jimmy had his, he was sitting in the chair turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God. Everyone was looking at me, and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around, he stands up. He does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video, and he's like, oh, stop, you're gonna make me cry. And he touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's just... I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. She says, as if rehearsed by his lawyers. Your mental health's the most important thing. I just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is... I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S, he just stopped right before I got out. I did not get the 300K. What I got. He goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, 100,000 some change, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. My family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And I haven't been back on a Beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then.
That's crazy that you did not get the 300,000, man. That's yet another pin in this dark cushion that is MrBeast, dude. This is... I don't really know what to say about this, bro. Usually I can really just, fire off a couple of one-liners and be really witty about this, but this took a different turn. I wanted him to just be a martyr victim, but it turns out that the guy is actually putting out quite a case, bro. He's really giving quite a case, so I can't really hate on him anymore, man. I've been swayed. I'm swayed, dude.
And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks. And then I still got in some hot water, and I knew it would. And I've wanted to say a lot of this for a long, long, long time. And I feel good now. I just had to get that off there.
So I just want to hop in here and show some text that Jake sent me after this interview. This is July 29, 2021, a few days after he got out of solitary. How are you feeling after a few days? Better. I still couldn't sleep, even a few days out, but I almost have my sleep cycle back on track. My legs and joints are good, but the blisters on my feet still hurt to walk on. Medical advice I got was not to lance them and just let them go away with time. I'm mentally still in an uneasy place, but I've gotten back on better help. My therapist is a little concerned, but we are working on things. Reminder, this is not supposed to be a traumatic life event. This is supposed to be a MrBeast video. Hey Jake, hope you're doing okay. Meg and I just wanted to check in on you. Hey, I'm good and I appreciate that. I'm not exactly 100%. I feel like mentally I'm still recovering a bit, but back in therapy and my therapist is concerned. Haha, but my legs and joints feel better, like I can walk, but my feet are still covered on those blisters and those hurt to walk on. But I was told the best thing to do is stay off my feet and let them heal. I'm in Raleigh with my family. Also, it'll be like a month before I get the money, and they aren't giving me all the money. They're giving me what I won up to that point in the game, which was also a slap in the face, but hey, I'm out, I'm alive. Therapist who knows and cares about you. The whole thing was so fucked, and honestly, fuck them for not giving you the money. Meg and I are wishing you the best with your recovery, and please feel free to reach out if you need anyone to talk to or need a place to crash in New York. Hope you're doing well, man. That video you uploaded is money, so good. I appreciate it. I'm doing better physically. Mentally, I'm still kind of in a place. I still can't sleep. I've slept 5 hours in the past 3 days, marathon included. I don't know what's wrong with me. Lots of thinking, too much, one might say. Hope they're taking care of you where they can. I mean, I was kind of shocked they didn't pay me for the full 25, 30 days. They paid me what I made up to that point. Like, even when we have to pull the plug for my mental health, the mechanism of the game is still at play. I'm just happy to be out. I still can't walk well, but it hurts less. And like, I'm not famous enough to burn a bridge. So at the end of the day, I'm still Jimmy's bitch. Like if I was Carl and he did that to me, I'd ruin him. And they want to do it again. That could be your leverage. If the guy breaks down also, 2 is better than 1. Yeah, right. I told them everything they did to me that they can't do again in order to make sure the other person doesn't break down as fast. But like the way the video is meant to function is the problem. It's a bad idea, full stop. It sounds clickbaity, sounds right up Jimmy's alley, but it's morally unethical like on every level. Off camera
Why is he wearing this cop outfit? The cop outfit is hilarious.
breaks, lights off at night, visitation, take the marathon out. Marathon is a video in itself. You can't expect someone to exert themselves like that for 45 seconds of content. The challenges really made it feel dehumanizing. Felt like a parody of MrBeast. I felt like the homeless guy they could exploit. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. Part of me wants the footage burned and part of me thinks that there's a great horror cut in there. LMAO, he was so fake when he came in and said he cared about my mental health. They must have programmed the care about mental health updates. He said, we also don't want you to, and I swear to our Lord and Savior, he stopped himself from saying sue. Also, as far as like, he could have said no, he could have left at any time. I want to show this segment from an internal document at MrBeast called How to Succeed in MrBeast Production. Specifically on page 19, there's a paragraph called No does not mean no. Already insane, because it seems to be co-opting the popular anti-rape slogan, which is a terrible look given the allegations that are going to be coming out very soon. It reads, when dealing with people outside MrBeast Productions, never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you can call the local Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees and see if they are fans or if any have kids that are fans. Try talking to their boss's boss. Have me DM them on Twitter and try their social team. If all avenues are exhausted and you are left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees because the manager of those could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Basically what I'm trying to convey is what we call pushing through no. Don't stop because one person told you no. Stop when all conceivable options are exhausted. This is one of many tools that when combined dramatically improve your probability of success when producing here. So yeah, this idea of like pushing through no's is a big component to working on MrBeast. And the way that it manifests itself a lot of the time is like a director might tell a producer, hey, we need access to 30 acres of farmland by Tuesday or we lose $500,000. Now, if you're the producer, you obviously know that means get it done or you lose your job. So what can happen is like a producer's calling up farmers saying, hey, I need to use your land. And the farmer might be like, okay, but you know, I have animals, you can't be making really loud noises, no pyrotechnics, and you got to clean everything up. So the producer's sort of incentivized to lie and say, or maybe the producer doesn't even actually know the total contents of the video, right? Things changed last second. So they're very like, they're financially incentivized to be manipulative and sort of, they're put in positions where it's like, oh, it's either the producer's job or a civilian's job, like where it talks about, hey, maybe the manager would be willing to bend the rules. Well, you shouldn't really be pressuring civilians to bend the rules that could get them fired, you know? I'll show you a real life example. This is unused evidence from part 1. I had seen this Reddit post titled MrBeast leaving trash behind and debris at film site in Aden, North Carolina. Apparently he left a large boat in a pond as well as debris around the film site in the bottom of the pond weeks and weeks after the agreed time frame. This actually rendered it unsafe for campers and almost delayed the camp's opening date multiple times due to not being able to get in contact with MrBeast to get the stuff cleaned up out of the area. So I actually know that this is from a MrBeast video called Protect the Yacht, Keep It, where at the end of that video, he actually says,
if you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video. For the love of God, subscribe so we can pass T-Series.
Yeah, so he says at the end of the video that they made sure it was cleaned up. I was actually on site for part of this production. I was at this camp. So I decided to send an email out to the camp, basically saying, hey, I heard these rumors. I'm investigating similar incidents. And the camp responded, actually not denying the claims, going on to say, I am sure that there are no perfect film productions, just as there are no perfect people. I am grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace, or forgiveness, has been offered to me so freely, I will choose to offer the same. So clearly alluding to the fact that there was a wrongdoing by MrBeast production team. And that's like sort of the thing is, if you're around Greenville, you know these stories of people working with MrBeast and it being extremely unprofessional, them not doing what they say, but they sort of get by a lot on their good public image. And like, I mean, this camp offered to host them completely for free. And I guarantee, like, if you went to the lake at the camp and you went magnet fishing, like you'd find all sorts of debris that's still there to this day. Like they didn't clean it all up. So in the case of Jake Weddle, like I'm sure that there were producers who were in a position of, hey, if Jake gets out early, we don't have a video and your job is at risk. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on top of like him being delirious from not sleeping and everything to just manipulate him into staying.
Everything is about getting the W, bro. W stream. That's what they're all about over there at MrBeast, man, because he's obsessed with it, dude.
You know, I'm sure this isn't like technically against the Geneva Convention on torture because he wasn't technically a prisoner. Like he could have left at any time, but because of the extreme pressure to stay in, it's not really a reasonable expectation that he could have just, you know, walked out.
Because of the implication.
I think Jimmy is a awkward kid who maybe had it a little rough growing up. I can't speak on that, but I do have empathy for it because I had it rough growing up, and I think when you're hyper fixated on something, like I love stand up, he loves YouTube, everyone fixates on a thing, I think he just wanted to be the best YouTuber so bad, and because the industry's metrics, rewarded some not great behavior. If you're just going on autopilot based on what the numbers say, you can do some things that maybe aren't good, but reap reward. And I think Jimmy just did what the industry and maybe what the system that we have set up demanded. And he didn't care who got hurt. And I think Jimmy surrounded himself with really, really not so great people, and those people were the ones making the decisions. And I want to say, really important, there are so many good people that work at MrBeast who are damn good at their jobs. Like, when Jimmy comes in and asks for something impossible, it's these people's jobs to do it. And they shouldn't be able to make it happen, and they do. And so, I don't think people wanted to talk about stuff because I didn't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't care about
the good leader, MrBeast, bro. He's a beast. Realistically, this documentary is just a Michael Jordan documentary, bro.
But let's just go back to my dad for a second, if I may. My dad was like a swimming coach, your neighborhood, everybody loved it. Behind closed doors, he's a real piece of shit. And so, when stuff starts hitting the fan, what? Him? No. Surely. And then, everyone, thought my mom was the bitch, for not, the day the news broke, that he did what he did to one of the students of the team. And it's like when that comes out, you're not surprised, you just go. But when I saw my dad in the news, I said, "Oh, you idiots!" Like I was like, "No," I was, "Oh, dumbass, god damn it!" But I wasn't surprised, and it was just consequences happening to somebody who was really good at avoiding them for a long time. And I don't know, everybody.
All right, guys. I appreciate you guys watching it to this part of the video. I don't know if anybody made it to the end here. This is just me riffing, going on a riff. But I will link the video in the description so that at least you can continue to watch the rest on your own time. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.